And we're live. And we're live for another episode of Slaaap Haaapy.
Let a bug hit windshield, scrape those off. My team running up big hills, they won't stop.
We can do it like this all
That's
day.
right, people.
Hey,
We're here. We're
don't
doing
stop.
it. We're doing it. I am doing it with another human being today, and his name is Riverine. Riverine, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Riverine. I'm a Melbourne-based audio engineer and music producer, and I've been making a full-time living off of music for maybe 2 years and writing music for about 11 or so.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
I
old
work
are you?
mostly I'm 24
Okay.
at the moment. What about you? You're 28, 29, 30, 31, 38.
No, I'm 33.
33. Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Still a spring.
Thank you,
chicken.
though. Thank you. I'll take 28.
Yeah, you look 26.
Yeah.
But yeah, I work mostly in hip hop and indie, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Melbourne-based audio engineer,
Yeah.
primarily in hip hop and indie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say so.
Yep. What's the split, do you think?
I'd say I'm known most for my work in hip hop. I've
Yeah.
done a lot of work for Young Martyr, Gatsby, Kill Carter, and Prax, and that's all mostly in the kind of hip hop world.
Yep.
But you know, anything can land on my desk. I've got a punk EP to master this week.
Oh, damn.
I mastered an album for my parents' band a couple weeks ago, and
That's
they
gnarly.
do like surf rock indie shit. So we swear.
Yeah.
Okay,
swear
cool.
away.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything can happen, but mostly hip hop. I'd say I've made my name.
That's gnarly. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things I want to talk about in there in a second.
Beautiful.
But I want to hear about a breakdown of, because I know that you are an audio engineer. I know that you are an artist.
Yeah.
And now a TikTok creator.
You can't beat him, join him.
Yeah. But I just want to hear about, like, you know, because I feel like as a person who's kind of like trying to juggle multiple balls, like, what does a week look like in terms of your breakdown? Like, how do you look at it? Are you an audio engineer first and then an artist? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that as you said that. Like, I have to remind myself that I am an artist too.
Yeah,
which is
right.
weird because it feels like,
Can get a bit consuming.
yeah, man. I think by and large, I'd say I'm a mix engineer first and foremost.
Yep.
So most of what I do in my day to day is mixing music, and then obviously I master, I record people, I can make beats. I'm an artist. I play shows. But in terms of a day in the life, it's like constant but casual, I'd say. So
Yep.
I've gone through different periods of how hard I push myself and how I carry myself, but I sort of I wake up and I get to it straight away. Like, I'll wake up, I'll have a cold shower.
Yep.
Which you've got to get into.
Yeah, I know.
I'll go for
I'm writing that down on the list of things I need to
man.
get into.
Good man. I'll go for a walk. I'll come back. I'll have some brekkie. I'll try to smash out 4 TikToks in a day. I don't always get that. I'll smash out 2 Instagram posts for the day. I just get it all ready in the morning. And then I'll get into the bulk of my work. I'll do any calls, mixing, recording, and then that carries me through till the end of the day. And then and I'll try to get a workout in, obviously, as well.
Yep.
But I pretty much like, I work the whole day, but I'm not forcing myself through anything.
Yeah.
If something comes up like this, or I want to see a friend, I'm very spontaneous and go with the flow.
Yeah. Cool.
But I generally just try to cover all bases. Is that kind of how you operate as well?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, pretty similar. I think that I tend to put a little bit too much pressure on myself sometimes, and it kind of leads
crank it too hard,
and it also leads to worse work because you know, like the saying that I love that I fucking suck at following is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's I don't know where it comes from, but it's something that I do think about a lot because I'm a very frantic person with my energy. Like
Really?
I like to move really fast.
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm walking, my brother Luke, you know Luke.
Yeah.
Luke is
Love him.
yeah, he's all right. Luke is always like, Matt, fucking slow down. Like we're not in a race. And I'm just always like moving. I'm always it's this weird like realization I'm having. I'm always walking ahead of people. Like if I'm walking with you,
You got to be in front.
I got to be in front. I don't know why. And even when I'm walking with Ness, like we'll just be like walking somewhere so casually.
Yeah.
No need to be in front. Zero reason to be ahead.
And you're that dude like passive aggressively overtaking the people that are just having a stroll.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's this weird, like, I don't know, like I feel like, you know, it's not weird. Like I kind of know where it comes from, but there's this like sense of just like needing to cram, needing to move, needing to do stuff. And
Go.
yeah, I know that to be probably a better operator and to be a bit more efficient, I do need to slow down sometimes and have like a little bit more of a like it's all going to get done. I know it's all going to get done. Like I don't need to like cram and force and shove and you know what needs to get done will get done and just be okay with that.
And
like
have faith in that.
Have faith in that. Yeah. I'm not okay with that enough. Like I feel like, there's this kind of like, there's this feeling of like a inner clock, like I'm running out of time.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
And that's interesting.
And that makes me kind of like jump into, do you need to get that higher?
No, that's perfect.
You good? Yeah. So there's this like inner clock and that means that like if I'm in a certain situation, it means that I try to force it a little bit too much. And that actually is where they're like,
because you feel like if you don't squeeze the most out of yourself, you're running out of time and you're not achieving your full potential and you could have done more and you suck.
Yep.
Yeah. Bro. I think I've been that for years and I think I've got the same character trait now, but in a more positive way.
Yep.
And I think what that comes down to is trusting myself.
Yeah.
So I don't need to micromanage everything I do at every second in the day because I've got years of a track record of getting things done. And so do you.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So I know that because I'm enthusiastic about my work and I'm very good at it, I know that I'm going to wake up and get the job done every day. And I trust myself. So there's no like anxiety laden with my schedule anymore. Well, not much anyway.
Yep. I think what you said there is actually perfect. And I think it is actually the thing that I probably struggle with the most is the idea of trusting yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Where do you feel like that? I mean, obviously you just said it like, years of a track record because that's all it comes down to.
Yeah,
like trust is not a thing that you can just make up. Trust comes from actually, trust is a doing word.
Yes.
Like it's an action.
Yep.
And my mum always used to say like, trust is something you got to earn. And even with yourself, you still got to earn it. Like
your own trust.
Yeah.
That's a whole can of worms too.
And that comes from action, like showing up repetitively, doing this and doing the same thing. So what is it about yourself that you trust? What are the things that you've done over time to have built that trust in yourself?
I think I've always had a really good hierarchy of values, and I think that's something that's separated me from a lot of the people I know.
Yep.
And to break that down, easiest example would be like veganism. You know what I mean? Like you could sit there, at least is the way I see it, you could sit there and enjoy a burger, like a meat burger, and that'd be great. Or you could enjoy a different burger, like a vegan burger, and have a good time, and you saved a life. And it's like no brainers to me. So like it's the same with, not completely hammering myself, 3 times a week, or like not spending 3 hours on Hinge a night. Like I've got a hierarchy of values and I know what's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we both said, like I've got years of that now of like, I know that I will prioritize the things that are important to me, and that's an act of self-love. And so I've got a proven track record of having lived in a manner that is very loving to myself because I've been spending my days for years creating a better life.
Honoring
myself. That. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
a lot to unpack. But
No, I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect. It's like you show up in the world as the person that you want to be and that you see yourself being.
Be.
Yeah. Like you don't skimp out on that. It's like
absolutely.
Yeah, if I've got to, you know, as you said in the example, if I've got to eat a vegan burger, so that I am showing up in the world as a person that I see myself being or want to be, then I'll just do that. It's like it's not a like, oh God, you know, it's such a difficult thing. It's just, that's what it is.
Completely, man. I think there's a really big point. I think it was a YouTuber or something a few months ago, and this has stuck with me so big. You know, we go out in the world and we're judging people and evaluating things at all times, you know, especially males, like very analytical brain.
Yep.
And we think that when we're by ourselves at home, we can do certain things and get away with certain things because no one's looking.
Yep.
You're always looking and you're always judging yourself against your own moral pyramid or whatever.
Yep.
Do you feel that?
Oh, totally.
If you're in private when no one's looking, doing things that you respect, like, you know, helping out a homeless man or whatever, and you didn't put it on social media, you just did it because you did it and that's important to you.
Yep.
You're going to sleep better at night.
Yep. And if you can sleep better, you walk around the world, well, obviously with a lot less weight on your shoulders.
Absolutely.
You walk around and you don't have to like, the thing is, if you can walk around in the world without that weight on your shoulders, it frees you up. It frees you up to think clear. It frees you up to be more creative. It frees you up to be just a more open, you know, human being, and you don't have to keep track of stuff. You don't have to keep track of, you know, your lies or your fucking, you know.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, you don't even have to worry about, you're talking about like manufacturing or making sure that the, I guess, facade or external that you're creating is consistent and cohesive. Yeah. And I guess on a subconscious level, a lot of people would be living like that.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My pop always used to say something about like, don't tell lies because then you're going to have to remember them. Because like, you know, if you tell a lie to this person and a couple months later, you might have to like fabricate something else. Now all of a sudden, now you got to fucking keep a spreadsheet of all the lies that you've told.
Yeah, it's messy, man.
It gets real messy. And
do you believe in karma?
Yeah, I probably not so much like the word or probably the, you know, textbook definition of the idea, but I definitely believe in putting good energy out into the world.
I love it.
Yeah.
And do you see the same in music? Like, do you think that like the energy you put out in a track is the same as how you are as a person? Do you think that like the energy you put into a song is bound to come back to you?
What do you mean? Sorry.
So I don't even know what point I'm trying to make. It's just an idea. Do you think that like if you make a song with a certain kind of energy, that's going to be met with its equal and deserving reciprocal? Meaning if you bullshit your way through a song, at some level that's going to be reciprocated.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, so yes, I do think that. And I think that not only because it comes back to the self, right? And the fact that you always have to be with yourself. So whether or not you get like some worldly reciprocation kind of happens where like, you know, as an example, 6ix9ine or
our favorite Island Boys.
Yeah. You know, just anyone like that who kind of puts that like real negative, you know, kind of like dark energy out into the world with their lyrics and their music. That you know, there's that worldly not reciprocation, but there's that worldly kind of response, kickback, right? That can happen, or like Pop Smoke, you know. Obviously his stuff wasn't always like real dark, but there was an element of violence in it, and then
absolutely,
you know, you kind of like you do invite that into your world and your life. You know, you could argue that it was already part of his world and his life, but you definitely perpetuate it. It's not like you're not trying to change your own trajectory. You're actually adding to that story. And so there's that worldly kind of response, or the other option is that because you have to be with yourself all the time, there's that internal response. So even if you can kind of lie and get away with it, you don't get the worldly response. There's that internal response, and you're going to have to live with yourself. You're going to have to look in the mirror for the rest of your life. That's not going anywhere. So I think that, whether or not you get it from the world or you get it from yourself, there's
a reaction.
There's a reaction there. There's an equal and opposite reaction to everything that you put out. Yeah.
Completely agree.
And I think, if you put out wholehearted good music that you want to see inspire the world and make the world a better place. And I think the exact same.
Yeah.
Whether or not it is, joy and cheers and love and, adoration, or it's just you being able to get up and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I did a fucking good job today.
Yeah.
You do get the same, kind of like you get the other side of the coin. So yes, my answer is yes, I do believe that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Well, I don't even know how we got there. We were talking about a breakdown of your week and then we got fucking deep, but that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. All right. So, one thing you said about values and your, your ability to self-love and stuff.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that a fair part of this comes from your parents. Is that a fair assumption or is that an unfair assumption?
Yeah, no, I'd definitely say so. I look up to my parents big time.
Yeah, okay. The fact that you said you mastered their
album
and they're in this band, and like if they're creative, then it's fair to assume that they probably have a pretty open way of looking at the world and kind of big hearts potentially.
Yeah,
that's my assumption. But yeah, you shine some light on that for me.
I think it's really interesting. I'm sure everyone's like this, maybe not, but I've had the privilege, especially as an adult. I think when you're a kid, you sort of like expect that your parents should have everything figured out and that they should be perfect for some reason, and they've gone to some like parent university and they should be doing a perfect job. But the beautiful thing is your parents are just people,
100%.
Especially like having mates that have had kids now and like seeing them be like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, damn, okay, true. My parents might have been a bit like that too. But the beautiful thing for me is I've seen my parents evolve and grow so much, particularly over the last few years. So who my parents are to me is sort of like this fluid thing.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
Mum is really deep into spirituality and self-growth, but that's only something that's been a thing in her life for the last maybe 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
Before that, not so much.
Yep.
And dad is just incredible human being, incredible musician, very sensitive, hard worker. So there's bits of that, but then this whole self-development world and kind of business world that we're in is completely alien to my family. And that's stuff that I've picked up over time because it's served my mission, which is to make it in music.
Yep.
So bits and pieces sort of informed this thing, and then I've sort of built on top of that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
What about you? What's your relationship to like who you are based on your parents and how they raised you?
So my mother is very loud, very open-hearted.
Beautiful way to start. Very loud.
She is. There's no other way to there's no other way to say it. She's the oldest of 10 kids.
Right.
She grew up in a huge household.
That's massive, bro.
Yeah. Every one of her siblings essentially had 3 or 4 kids themselves. Obviously, a couple of them passed away, but the ones who were kind of left, they all had 3 or 4 kids. My mum's got 5. Some of my aunties have got 4 or 5. There's a lot of people in my family, so it's a very, it's a very bogan family. We're just super loud and obnoxious, all of us. So it's kind of, so my mum's side and my mum has kind of given me a confidence to just speak my mind, but also just to be loud and be okay with it being.
Yeah, cool.
So I've got that from my mum, like the charismatic kind of like, and empathy as well. Like my mum's a very empathetic person. My dad is as well, but he does it a little bit more quietly.
So a lot of outward characteristics.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. So my mum's got a huge heart, and so big heart and probably big mouth is what I got from my mum. But not in a bad way. She's just very good at talking and making people feel comfortable and
beautiful.
Just being.
It's a gift.
Yeah, it is totally. Her ability to like talk to strangers and tease out their like, their biggest fears and greatest triumphs and stuff like that is like, she's just always been able to do that. And yeah, so it's a huge kind of gift and something that she's definitely passed on to me and my brothers. And then from my dad's like just very stoic. He's very like,
Beautiful.
he doesn't say a lot, just kind of trudges forward. He's
Do you
one of those.
associate that with stoic? Like, I'm always interested because the meaning everyone has around it is so different because it's
Okay.
such a multifaceted thing.
Yep.
When you think of stoic, do you think of like just kind of like traditionally masculine, almost like unemotional? Is that the association you have with it?
That's part of it, I think. More about the resilience of yeah. So I guess my earliest opinion or my earliest understanding of stoic was that, like just a masculine kind of like put my head down and trudge forward, resilient at any cost.
Got you. Yeah.
That was my earliest kind of like feeling or thought about it. But it's developed over the last couple of years. Obviously, I listen to a lot of Ryan Holiday stuff. I've read a lot of his books and it's definitely evolved. I got the Daily Stoic podcast that I listen to pretty much every day. So
Beautiful.
It's definitely evolved. But when I say probably when I'm speaking about my dad, just in those terms, I'd probably say the kind of like kind of staunch, resilient, but silent type that just kind of trudges forward at any cost.
Okay. And you got a bit of that?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm probably like, I'd probably say like 70-30 in terms of the characteristics that I've got from my parents.
Got you.
Only cause like, yeah, my dad is very, he's very quiet. He doesn't say a lot. And, you know, obviously he's the kind of guy that when he does talk, you listen.
I love that.
Yeah. So he doesn't speak a lot, but when he does speak, you listen.
Yeah.
And I respect him. I respect like how hard he's worked and the fact that he's, you know, brought up me and my three brothers and our little sister. And he's kind of like, you know, he's always put food on the table and stuff. And he's done it through like some pretty trying times as well.
Yeah.
So, I guess what I would probably say in summary is like
Strength. Yeah. From your
empathy.
dad?
Yeah. Empathy from my mum and kind of like outgoingness from my mum, but from my dad, probably, just like a resilience and an ability to just go, right, well, this is shit, but I got to roll my sleeves up and get it done.
Yeah.
No matter what.
David Goggins it.
A little bit of David Goggins. Yeah. My dad's very much that type. He just kind
I
of
love
like,
it. I love it.
yeah, no, even to sometimes like to his own detriment, like against his own
Got you.
health.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's not a very healthy person at this moment in life, and it's because of like some, you know, unfortunate decisions that he's made, or not unfortunate, but like, you know, he just had to make them. But it's kind of he's, you know, in a way, it's like I need to provide for my family, even if it's at the own even if it's to my own detriment. And so sometimes that actually in itself has kind of taught me a little bit as well. Like I don't want to do that. Like I don't like if I obviously if I really had to, but I'd probably try my best to avoid a situation like that where I had to just kind of like do something that I may not particularly have wanted to do just because I need to like
keep everyone happy
and serve like a purpose higher than myself. That's you know, essentially going to lead to my unhappiness and my unhealthiness and stuff like that. So yeah. But that's a little bit about our parents.
It's fascinating, hey, and it's
Yeah, totally.
fascinating. We can get off this tangent if you want, but it's fascinating seeing because I'm one of 5 kids. Fascinating seeing the same parents, essentially the same ingredients, you might say.
Yeah.
How the influence is the same amongst siblings and where it differs.
Right.
And this is where sort of nature versus nurture comes in, and everyone's individual personality remains, because between your siblings, you've got all these similarities, but then you've also got your differences.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what number are you?
I'm number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's an older brother, then me, then younger sister, and 2 younger brothers.
Okay. Cool.
What about you? Your oldest
brother.
Yeah.
There's 4 boys and 1 little girl.
Okay.
She's
Same as
youngest.
us. Yeah. 4 boys, 1 girl.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Interesting. Do you think the size of family or where you sit in, I guess, the pecking order has an influence on your personality?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
big
the
time.
whole baby and like middle child.
Yeah. Well,
and
Luke
everything.
is the youngest boy, and you may not have spent enough time with him to realize,
We're going
but
to psychoanalyze
he's
this man.
he's a big baby. He's He's a big
beautiful
baby.
baby.
He's a big, beautiful baby.
No, he's got a big heart, that dude. I can tell he just feels everything.
Yeah, super empathetic. Just big. He gets that from my mum probably. Like he might not necessarily want to admit it, but like he gets that from my mum. Yeah, but just big teddy bear. Just feels everything, and you know he tries to kind of be a bit tougher than he needs to be sometimes. But I think just feels a lot and holds a lot of it as well.
Beautiful dude.
Oh yeah. No, he's doing really well for himself, and he's coming on leaps and bounds in terms of like, you know, his development and his music as well. Like
shout out Rūku, start up.
Yeah, shout out Reyko, start. Go get
Give him
that
a
shit.
plug.
Yeah, go get that shit.
Legit.
Beauty. All right. So I was going to say like, obviously I was going to ask about how you got into music, but I'm kind of guessing it's mum and dad.
I can give you like a really quick breakdown.
Yeah.
So
and then tell me where you started in music, and then where you started transitioning to the engineering side of things.
Yeah, interesting. This goes back to my point about how it's interesting the influence your parents have and how it differs, because I'm the only one of the 5 children that do music like at all.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, mum and dad are both musicians. They've always played in bands. Mum has a radio show in Brisbane on 4ZZZ.
Hectic.
Called Heyday that is amazing.
Yeah.
And she's a really good interviewer.
Yeah.
Dad was in a really cool band called Slaaap Haaapy. They were pretty big in the 90s in Brisbane.
Yeah.
So yeah, instruments were always around. Dad was like learning how to make beats when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I started messing around in GarageBand when I think I was 8. My first song was called Rodney Get That Cheese.
Oh
yeah, slaps.
Let's kick.
Yeah, we got it. Rodney Get That Cheese. Finally getting it shine. I picked up guitar when I was 13.
Yep.
Started making beats when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I went to do psychology because I didn't think a career in music was financially feasible at the advice of my parents.
Yep.
Got halfway through my uni year and realized I don't want to be 40 and wake up and have never given plan A a shot.
Yeah. Yep.
So I started recording and mixing people when I was 18, putting out like electronic music for myself, like kind of indie electronica, Flume influenced, cinematic sounding stuff. Started recording some local rappers, then formed a pop duo called Collab with a good friend of mine, James Manteed, who is still doing Collab.
Yep.
He's got some really, really cool unreleased stuff. So that was when I was 19. I was doing that for a couple years. We basically like taught each other how to make, how pop works, and kind of taught him how to sing at the same time, which was really interesting. Like it was so rudimentary, man. We would like, I would make a beat, and then because he had never sang before, but he was just really passionate, which is what drew me to him as a partner in music, I would have to basically write his vocal melodies on a piano roll in Ableton and play that in his ears, and he would have to learn the melody and sing it.
That's cool.
And I'd have to be like, that note's off, you got to sing this note.
Yeah.
Really weird process. We ended up moving to Melbourne together when I was 21 to sort of make it in music. He got a modeling contract down here, and I didn't want to not be around him because we were trying to do this thing together. And so, moved here when I was 21. We did a national tour. We put out an album. Had a really stressful year together, to be honest.
First year you were here?
First year we were here, yeah. We'd been living together for like 4 years at that point. And throughout the year, I was just working my face off, man. I was doing maybe 40, 50 hours a week as a barista at the time. I was recording, producing, and mixing for Collab, also trying to show up to photo shoots and organize stuff like that. I was also starting Prax's musical project. I produce a lot for Prax. He's incredible, one of my best friends. So, man, I was working 50 hours a week, and I was kind of the backbone of 2 musical projects, let alone my own personal output, and being a 21-year-old.
Are you releasing music
as myself? Not at this time. No, I'd kind of hit the brakes because it was all too much with the other stuff. And I kind of believed in the other projects more than I backed myself, which is another thing. So we got to the end of the year, and James was going through a tough time, and I was kind of like, I don't know if you struggle with this too because you're into self-development. Because I hold myself, particularly at the time, in almost a neurotic way, I hold myself to such a high standard. I have a very hard time not measuring my peers against the same framework or lens, particularly if we are invested in something together.
Like holding them to a higher standard or a lower standard?
Holding them to a higher standard, meaning if I've just worked 11 hours at a cafe with chronic fatigue at the time, and I've come home and put in 5 hours of work in our musical dream, subconsciously being self-righteous.
Yep.
I'm looking at someone maybe, I don't know, ordering Uber Eats and watching YouTube for a couple of hours being like,
why aren't you?
Yeah, we're in this together.
Yeah.
And just that manifesting as me being a little bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
So I think that combined with him struggling a bit mentally and being a little bit lost at the time created a lot of pressure and a lot of arguments and a lot of just tension and me becoming a person I didn't really want to be.
There's so many different moving pieces in this setting.
Yeah.
So it's real, like it's, it's pretty easy to go, oh, best mates, move down, same dream, I guess, same kind of field.
And we worked together too. I got him a job at the cafe. So we lived, worked.
There's a lot of,
and did music together.
Honestly, like it'd be pretty hard to not end up fucking fighting with each other.
Yep. It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
Like a marriage of sorts.
Dude, at the end of the day, there's so many moving parts there and life's tough, life puts pressure and if someone is kind of like, and especially when you probably haven't, maybe at this time, 21 or whatever, you maybe haven't developed enough of the empathy, I guess, or some of the frameworks actually,
maturity.
Yeah. Oh, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely, man. Yeah, I got to the end of that year and I had a really good chat to Prax, and at the time we just finished up the national tour. We had a lot of fun with a couple of the shows, and we played two of the worst shows I've ever played in my life, just in terms of our own performance, our energy and dynamic as a team. The venues, we played this hilarious show in Sydney to about 4 people.
Fuck yeah. Good 4 people, but?
Yeah, not really, man. One of them was like doing nangs in the crowd, proper like cracking whippets into balloons in the crowd and just doing them while we were performing. We'd like finish a song and then you just hear like, we're like, man, what the hell?
Maybe that instead of applauding, that's what he does. Maybe that's his thing.
Yeah, he was a lost soul.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, we got to the end of the tour. Tensions were kind of high. There was a lot of distance between us. Both of us equally at fault. We're still so close. We've made good on it, but we kind of parted ways. And I was like, I don't really know what to do in music.
Yeah,
and I was a bit lost for a bit, and then kind of still producing for Prax and a couple of other people, but nothing's really happening for me. Gets to the start of 2020, and young Martyr puts up on his story, I need guitar on a song. And Prax, who had been DMing him and just working his face off in terms of connecting. Prax is a gun. Like, I love that dude. He's all, this is a bit of a tangent, but he's the kind of person that will just kind of to our first point in the conversation, he will just do things because he's a good guy with
cool.
no expectation of anything in return. So
love that.
Martyr had posted on his story, I need guitar on a song. And Prax is like, yo, you need to hit up Riverine. Like, Riverine got you. And, Martyr at the time, Nike Ticks, his viral song was quite massive, I reckon. It's now at, I think, maybe 50 million. At the time, it might have been nearing 10 or 20. So he's
a lot.
Getting a name together, quite a big artist. And he hits me up and we do this song. I did a terrible job writing this pretty bad guitar for this song. But then just because we connected and he wanted me to then mix and master the track, I had never been paid to do that before.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
That was like my first ever, it's so weird, my first ever paid job essentially as an engineer was for this artist that was like going completely viral. It was massive. I felt like completely out of my depth.
Yeah.
And so that first ever paid gig came in just as COVID hit.
Yeah.
So I moved back from Melbourne to live with my parents in Brisbane because I had no idea what was happening with the world. And I was a barista and I had just had all my hours axed.
Yeah.
And I don't know, fate or whatever, but as this happened, I start getting these paid jobs. Like, Martyr starts sending more work my way. Through that, I started working with Logan M and then Kill Carter and then through Prax again, Boy Scout Gatsby, and then with Kolu, James is doing that as solo now, but he's still working with me. So I was recording him and then it's sort of all taking off in 2020. And I'm like...
All from Brisbane?
Everyone's everywhere. Logan was in Melbourne. Martyr was in Canberra. Kill Carter was in Melbourne. Kolu and Prax were in Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm like, this is amazing. I mean, like I've been trying to make it for years as an artist and kind of then that translated to production. And then I've landed over here as an audio engineer and I've never set out to do that, but it's sort of just like a skill set I picked up on the side. Yeah. And then, that took off and I've been living off of that full time ever since and just trying to grow that.
Hectic.
Yeah. So
that's
weird
gnarly.
how things happen. Hey, you sort of set off on a path and you kind of end up getting there, but it's like over here a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of how life goes, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. How long were you back in Brisbane before you end up coming
back to Melbourne?
Yeah.
So I went back to Brisbane when COVID hit March 2020. And then by the end of the year, I was maybe making like $400 a week off of music, which at the time I was cheering.
Yeah,
I wasn't paying rent. But Kill Carter, Johnny, who I had never met before, was like, yo, man, I've just broken up with my girlfriend of 7 years. Yeah. I need to do something different with my living setup. Do you want to start a share house together? Yeah. And I had maybe 2 or 3 weeks notice. I think I had about $800 or $900 to my name. Yeah. Have a good amount of savings, people. Like, it's important. Yeah. And he was like, yo, move down to Melbourne, come in the share house. And I did it.
End of 2020?
End of 2020, December 2020, Boxing Day, I moved down.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And after I'd paid bond and rent, like the upfront amount, which is more than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I think I had about
It's a lot of money.
$11. Yeah. And I've just moved away from my parents.
New city.
I've never not had an employer before. And been paying rent. And I'm like, all right.
Here we go. Strap myself in.
This could go any which way.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool share house. It was like 6 of us. We were all doing different. Like Johnny does graphic design under the brand Fractured. Mm-hmm. That's Kill Carter, by the way. Sorry. So he also does graphic design. He's a really, really great graphic designer.
I'm actually working with him.
Oh, good man.
On my new single.
Oh, sick. Yeah. He's a beast, bro. I've seen him work too. He cares. Yeah. He used to be an architect, so his way around Photoshop is amazing. Yeah. But I made it work. Yeah. Like I just made it work. Yeah. Like at times, I was down to my last couple of bucks. Yep. Even like towards the end of last year, we moved out of the share house. I got my own apartment, which was a little bit of a hike in living expenses, and then mixes slowed down a bit. And by Christmas, just a few months ago, I was down to like my last $40. Yeah. I want to say again, bro. Yeah. And then I came back and I was like, oh, come on, man. Like, come on. Like
something.
Turn it around, bro. Like you probably got that in your head too. Like, let's go. You got that internal, like, come on, survive. Yeah. And so I was like, I need to kick my social media into gear. My page looks like ass at the moment. And then so I started posting on TikTok and I started posting on Instagram twice a day, and I changed up my content approach and made stuff look a lot better. And I basically religiously held to that for about 6 weeks. I'm a lot more relaxed with it at the moment just because I'm usually busier doing actual work. Not that socials aren't important. Yep. But then, man, I saw a translation in work. Like I almost immediately had a pick up in business. Yep. And now I'm not broke and stressed and crying.
Good place to be.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about this before the podcast, like when financials start to become a bit trickier, the heat cranks up a bit. Yeah. And dude, your ability to like navigate life and think is so much harder. Yep. everything's harder. Decision making's harder because you don't have the confidence, because you don't have the
you don't have the bandwidth. You got less brain power to think with, because the majority of your brain power is used on thinking about stressing.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like if you got like 100% of brain power every single day, you might spend like 60 of it going, how am I going to pay rent? How am I going to eat? How am I going to fucking do this? How am I going to pay that bill? You might have like 30 or 40 left over to actually like, you know,
Less.
live and well,
Less.
probably a lot less.
Yeah.
That's why I'm reading a book at the moment called Lost Freedom by Johann Hari, and
He's pretty amazing. Yeah.
he's impressive.
Did he write?
Chasing the Scream, Lost Connections. There are his other two books.
Okay, true. Yeah, he's quite famous on like, he's done a TED talk.
He done a TED
Yeah.
TED talk about Lost Connections,
Okay.
which is his book about, you know, just the mental health crisis. Chasing the Scream is about the war on drugs.
Okay.
And how it's failed. Lost Connections is about the mental health crisis and where we're going wrong.
Yeah.
And Stolen Freedom, I think, is the new one, and that's about
That's the one you're reading?
that's the one I'm reading right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And that's about the tech boom and how
Privacy and stuff.
yeah, but also just how mobile phones and tech basically have stolen our focus, how we're, you know, the least focused generation in history, and how like, just our attention on a day-to-day basis is being stolen from us by big tech, by engineers, and there's a whole economy built around
Monetizing our attention.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
and making sure that we can't focus on the things that we actually need to focus on every single day. So
It's crazy, man.
it's a crazy kind of theme. The book is amazing, but one thing he talks about in I think Finland,
Yeah.
they have like a what do you call it? Universal basic income.
Yeah, that's a big topic.
Yeah, where everyone I think in the country gets the equivalent of like $300 a week or something like that.
It'd be like welfare here, yeah, like New
Essentially,
South.
but you don't have to do anything. Like you don't have to apply for it. You don't have to like meet any requirements. Just because you're a citizen of the country and you exist, you're a human, you exist, you live in the country, you get this $300
How's it working so far?
every single week. He read off a bunch of stats and he read off a bunch of anecdotes. From what I gathered, it works.
Interesting.
Because
yeah.
the average person, do you know what the $300 does? It goes, when I get up every single day, I don't have to, the first thing in my mind doesn't
survival. It's not that.
Yeah. It can be like, do you know what? How can I make the world a better place? How can I put my best foot forward today? How can I, you know, you can just instantly start thinking about those things first rather than survival.
I read a really, I heard a really interesting counter argument to UBI because I think it's such a fascinating topic. Naval Ravikant is a pretty amazing thinker and investor. And he said, UBI is quite scary. Sorry, we can get back to music whenever you want.
Yeah.
But UBI is scary because, you know, it's a government mandated thing, right? Which the people love. But then at the next election, the people are going to vote for the man that's saying, yo, we need 450.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the next election.
Like where does it end?
Yeah, next election is like, it's not enough. Like, we need 600. And then some dude's going to come along campaigning, we need 600. And then that goes to 800. And then it becomes, you know, this. I mean, look, it's fascinating. I don't claim to know anything about it, but
I can see the argument for sure.
Hearing that argument that it's a slippery slope and it's like this it would become the centerpiece of every political campaign.
Yeah, but I don't think.
I love the concept of it.
From what it sounds like, though, it doesn't sound any different to like what the political parties are based on at the moment. So like liberals,
like with taxes.
Yeah. So like and what do you call it? Like franking credits and
what are they?
I don't know how to explain it properly, but basically it's like if you are. I don't know how to explain it. It's essentially a tax write-off for wealthy people who have like investments or
right. The way billionaires use loans against property to
exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Which is called, I can't think of what it's called. It's where you have like a whole bunch of rental properties that you investment properties, and you kind of like write off the tax against the other ones or something like that. Yeah. It's basically only for wealthy people who already have money. Yeah. And the reason they say that the Liberal government won in 2019 or whatever it was, because Labor were going to scrap a bunch of these things.
The loopholes.
Yeah. Labor was going to get rid of them.
Got you.
And Clive Palmer, who's obviously
hurt his wallet.
that would have hurt his, well, probably not that much, but he basically speaks for the ultra wealthy. So he was like, you know, Labor, all they care about is, you know, fucking, you know, I don't know, losing us money. And essentially the whole campaign from the Liberals then basically piggybacked that and it became like a smear campaign to say, you know, we're for people earning money and keeping it. Labor is for like, you know, kind of basically spreading the wealth and everyone kind of like getting less or something like that.
Got you. Okay.
And so, you know, I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, it doesn't sound too dissimilar. Like, you know, it's monetary policy. They're always going to be two sides of the coin and one. So the Labor was basically saying we want more equality. And then Liberal was saying, well, everyone who has money wants to keep it. So they should be able to.
True.
So yeah, I feel like, there's no perfect, there's never going to be perfect.
It sounds like a kind of ideal, someone's like thought up a solution because, you know, you've got half the world that kind of wants a more socialist society and you've got half of the world that capitalism is working for them and they're like, yeah, I want to keep that.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm doing quite well. It feels like, because obviously time and time again, communism has proved ineffective in its implementation because the only way to enforce it is violence. And obviously capitalism and the monopoly that comes with it has led to some terrible things. So this feels like, you know, how can we play into the natural human variation of, you know, some people being happy with this amount and other people being quite ambitious in what they want.
Because that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's going to stop people from being super ambitious and you know, like there's always going to be, naturally there's going to be those people.
Always going to want a better car and a better home, all of that stuff. That's human nature. And that's why communism's kind of hectic.
Yeah.
So UBI feels like, let's meet everyone in the middle and kind of try to provide
if you're keen to like kick it and like obviously not do the most, then at least you can survive.
Exactly.
And everyone
You've got
who
no
wants,
one on the street, like, ideally.
Everyone who wants to do crazy shit and like, you know, make mega billions, you can still do that. It just, like, the thing is, at the moment we're living in a world where for everyone to make mega billions, or for the people to make mega billions, there has to be people making fuck all or nothing.
Like off the backs of people not making what they need
like there's a trade-off.
Correct.
So the super wealthy are getting wealthier and staying wealthier because the middle class is shrinking. It's actually, it's increasing, I think. But there used to be like a more of an even spread, and now the poor are staying poorer. And so I think like it's just kind of gone like this. The gap is just getting wider and wider and wider. Like, I just feel like, you know, introducing something that allows it to kind of balance out a little bit more and just make sure that people, you know, like, I just hate, anyway, we're going off and
on the Joe Rogan experience.
I felt like I was about to flick a switch just then.
Go on.
No, because there's this saying, equality, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Beautiful.
Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Yeah.
And when I think about that, I'm like, but you know, essentially, there's this song by Macklemore called
Thrift Shop. It's crazy. Like, not many people have heard it. It's like underground, but it's so well
underground,
produced.
dude.
The lyrical content, it's actually like unpacking the invasion of Africa in the 1800s.
Dude, it's real. And if you read between the lines, like if you really study that shit, it just
a lot to it.
Speaks to me, man. It just speaks to me. Anyway,
sorry, I'll stop bullshit.
No, okay. All right, you touched on this a little while ago. I want to go back to it. TikTok, because I would say that
essential.
I would say that I'm gonna say it straight out. I'm envious of your TikTok. I think that you
envious?
Because I think you do a really good job.
Oh, thank you, bro.
I think from everything that I understand about the platform and how you're meant to execute on it, I feel like you're doing that. And I think you're seeing as your results are kind of like amping up.
Yeah.
And that's the fruits of your labor, your work. But when I look at, because I study your feed a fair bit actually.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I just go. This is if you're a creator in 2022, this is how you need to execute, because it's niche specific. It's native to the platform. You're using all the right tools, the text, the trends, the copy, everything from what I've seen is exactly what you need to, and it's consistent. Output.
Thank you, man.
Output's there, consistency's there, like everything you need to actually grow TikTok in 2022, you have. So,
thank you.
So when I say envious, I mean like I studied and I'm like, fuck, this is what I need to do.
What do you think the gap is there? What do you think you're not doing that I am? I see you doing the voiceovers, you got the text, you got a consistent output, you got personality.
Not consistent enough.
Okay.
Not enough output. So
what is consistent enough for you?
I'm probably only doing like, maybe like 2 or 3 a week. Need to be like 2 or 3 a day kind of thing.
I mean, look, you don't need to, but it helps.
I think if you're serious and you want to, so I was listening to a Gary V conversation this morning, and he said basically
no TikTok conversation would be complete without Gary V
popping up. Yeah. He said basically that you want to be early with these things when attention is underpriced. And
so true.
Right now, because as something grows in popularity and it matures, the attention becomes more valuable. So you want to be.
They start to squeeze more and more. So they make it so enticing at the start, and they slowly over time start to squeeze more and more and more out of you.
Yep.
And Facebook's done too much of that, which is why people don't check it half as much as they did.
Yep. Instagram's barely hanging on. Like it's probably.
Instagram's still massive, but it feels like it's on the downward in the same way that Facebook was.
Yeah, totally. It's going that way. I don't think they'll get
it's like 3 years behind Facebook.
Yeah, I would agree. So TikTok's still probably, before it matures, you probably still got like 2 or 3 years. It's just that right now, even though it's 2 or 3 years in, you have the ability right now. It's like 2014 Instagram kind of thing. Like, 3 or 4 years old. Maybe like 2016 Instagram. Yep. It's still like
there are a lot of really pretty influencer girls that are still massive today that did that at that time. Yeah. They capitalize on underpriced attention.
Totally. And I think, so it's, I know that I see the value because I've seen it before. I've seen it with Instagram, with Vine, with Facebook,
Vine.
with YouTube.
Yeah.
I've seen it with a whole bunch of these platforms, and I know the value in it. If you can get in, if you can utilize it early enough, then you basically you hang on to that attention if you are somewhat consistent in the long term. One thing I would say is I'm not consistent enough. I think that even though you can argue, 2 or 3 times a week doesn't have to, you don't have to do 3 times a day. I would say that you do if you want to take advantage of the moment.
First of all, back yourself for even showing up on the platform and doing 2 to 3 a week.
Yeah.
Like really back yourself for that because, it might seem like there's millions, tens of millions of people on the platform, and there are, but there are far more consumers than there are creators in this world. And TikTok kind of changing that. Like almost everyone's a comedian now, which is hectic.
Yeah.
Even for me making these little stupid videos that are comedic in nature, I've never done anything comedic in my life. It's just, it's weird. So man, I'd say back yourself for doing 2 to 3 a week. I think the biggest thing that I'm noticing more and more, keep in mind, I'm still figuring all this stuff out. I'm still so new, so I can't claim to be an expert. But when I look at someone's page, the biggest, I know it immediately. I'm like, this is why your shit's not working. Like I look at someone and say that. It's like, I feel like you don't know who you're trying to reach.
Yep, good point.
So for me, coming into turning my socials around, I was looking at every engineer and producer in the space making content for other engineers and other producers. Every mix engineer that's on socials to get more mixes, they're putting up videos of how to EQ a vocal.
Yeah.
And that's really cool to demonstrate credibility, and that's dope if your product and your business is built on marketing to other mix engineers and selling plugins. But if you're trying to reach artists, why are you making content for other mix engineers?
Yeah.
So I was like, there feels like a real gap right now for me as an engineer to make content for artists.
Yep.
I felt like I wasn't seeing much of that.
Yep.
And I've had a really tangible response to that.
Yep. Can you talk about the response? Like, in terms of like what kind of percentage or what kind of numbers are you starting to see come in terms of like the business that you're getting?
I mean, it varies so much. All I can say is that I'm busy and that I'm not broken stressed.
Yeah, okay.
Like I was
enough said
3 months ago, and that is so important.
Yeah, enough said. That's all you have to say.
Another point on that is I'm about to jet off to Mexico in a month. And I'll be, I've bought my tickets and I'm getting savings together, and this is all off of music.
Yep.
I couldn't say that a few months ago. Like I wouldn't see this as feasible. But yeah, in terms of response and feedback, man, every gig I go to now, every studio session I go to, every artist I run into, not every, that sounds egotistical, but I hear quite often that people are like, hey man, like I really love what you're doing. And I'm seeing that in person, like more than any amount of growth. And there's growth too. On TikTok in the last couple of weeks, it's starting to really hit a little bit. It's gone from an average of like 200-300 views a video to like 1.5 to 2K. And then hopefully that'll keep moving that way. But yeah, more important than anything, man, is like I had coffee with a dude from Canberra this morning. And he found me through Reels on Instagram, and he wants to send me an EP to mix.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
It's so worth it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
what I think the word I'm thinking of is compounding. Like I'm seeing
correct. Yeah.
I'm seeing your account compounding at the moment. And
I'm really curious too to ask you, because you're someone that is always trying to learn and grow, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at someone that's cranking it, that's going really hard on socials and their stuff's not budging, what do you think separates someone like that from someone who's putting in the exact same amount of videos or like quantity but is going?
I think niche and consistency.
Yeah.
I think output is not important if it's not specific to your audience.
Right. So if you're just farting around making 8 videos a day about nothing.
Yeah. And if there's no consistency, I don't think it really, I don't think it matters, because I think it's the same thing with like how, say, Spotify works in the current.
With playlisting and the AI analyzing what your song is right for.
Yeah. You need the compounding effect to take place. And the only way you can do that is if you're consistently sitting within one stream. And because you need all these things to build on top of each other. You need your next song to build off your last song, to build off your next song, to build off your next song. Like this song alone is not going to make me, but if it's 10 songs down the track, maybe it will.
Yep.
Same with like the videos. Like that first video is not going to do it for you. But if you make niche specific videos every single day for like 6 weeks, and the content is catered to an audience, and it's clear, and they have good hooks and stuff like that. Like if you do that over a period of time, that will make the difference. Which is very different to someone just putting out content. And I feel like that's probably where I would kind of like separate what we're doing. I put stuff out. I put a lot of stuff out. But
your gig video did really well.
Gig video,
right? I saw a lot of people sharing that. The one you were like, I went to a gig the other night, Kill Carter's gig, and
so that did cool. So what I need to do is I need to figure out probably a little bit more specifically who I'm trying to talk to, and then I need to just
who are you trying to talk to?
That's the thing, I don't know
exactly.
I can't really, because I'm I do this stuff where I like want to have my conversation and my podcast and stuff like that, but I also want to talk about hip hop pretty frequently. So I'm like,
what are you trying to build with the podcast? Are you trying to get more eyes on your music? Are you trying to build a brand to then, you know, maybe build a product on top of and sell that with the audience you've built? Or are you just excited about it and you're doing it?
Yeah, I guess I just like it. Yeah. Right now, so right now it's about creating, for me, it's about creating a resource and a tool.
Beautiful.
For other artists.
In an audience?
Yeah, for other artists, for people kind of like on the outside looking in. So like, as before, it was all about me. Just like, I just wanted a place to share my thoughts, share my feelings and opinions.
It feels
and
good, right?
I love it. Yeah, I like it.
Not just an echo chamber of your own brain. You're actually like recording and being able to share the things that are important to you.
Yeah, and to be fair, like people get stuff out of it as well. Like, you know,
I do. They pop up on my TikTok all the time. All the snippets, and they're great.
Yeah,
just like gas me up.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, I like and I love that. Like, and people obviously share that with me. Like, hey, you know, this video helped, or that video helped, or
beautiful. And
that's the stuff that I genuinely love as well, because that goes back to my like empathy and my big heart. Like, I want to make. I think that's what it is. I want to make the world a better place. And yeah, whether or not I want to do that through like podcasts only or music only, or I'm still kind of not sure how I want to, you know, execute that right now, because I find like I'm finding podcasting probably a little bit more interesting to do at the moment.
Cool. Well, I mean, look, it's the new shiny thing as well. It's got like a bit of an advantage in that regard. And it's you've been doing music for a lot longer. Like if you'd been doing podcasting for like 6 years, I don't know, or it's just what you prefer to do.
Yeah.
But
I do like talking to people.
You know what I mean though? Like, because it's like that new thing.
It is 100%. And it also, like, selfishly, it gives me the opportunity to talk to people that maybe I might not have been able to talk to.
Yeah, okay.
So
and that's great too. Like, conversation can change your life, and that's why podcasting is so big, man.
And I feel like what I've always been kind of on the outside as far as like music communities involved.
You feel like that? Okay.
Hip hop, yeah. I've never really had like a team. It's kind of always been like either myself, like it was myself for ages, and for a while it was just me and my brother, and now it's just me and my brother, and we have never really had like a community or a team around us.
Interesting.
And for me, this is my way of putting us out there.
Beautiful.
And I can.
That's your why.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Because I can have conversations with people that might not have like let me in the room previously. And because I feel like once I'm in the room, I know that like me and Luke we're solid people. Yeah. We do make good enough music.
Great music. And,
you know, I just feel like once you kind of like can give us a chance, I feel like you'll see that, you know.
But if people don't have the chance because they haven't, you know, had you blasted in their face 24/7 on TikTok.
Yep.
Then they won't hear the music that you care about so much.
Totally. So there's that element to it as well. And also like I'm still trying to learn, man. Like, you know, more recently I've been taking on a bit more of a management role with Luke.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm like
sick. How are you finding that?
I feel comfortable there. Like it's a very natural state for me.
Yeah.
I've always really enjoyed the marketing and business side of music.
Again, man, you never know. You might set off and chart a course for Greece and end up in Italy and it's lit.
And I might be like, fuck, this is all right.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I'm very open to that. And you know, he needs help right now with it. So I'm helping him.
Yeah. And he deserves it too.
He deserves it. And he's fucking putting in, like I see the effort that he puts into the music.
This is just the Gas Up Rūku podcast.
Honestly, seriously. Yeah, we haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the effort that he puts into the music and I'm like, man, of course I'll help you. Like, you know, he started in music. No, he didn't start in music because of me, but like, you know, I started a really long time ago with no one. No one helped me, figured out everything on my own. And then he started a little while after that. And if I can like make his journey a little bit easier and maybe give him a little bit more of a leg up, then I want to do that. And
Beautiful. So basically all of this effort is to,
in summary,
you have maybe been tugging at the sleeve of the industry or the scene for many years and not feeling like a part of it or included or seen.
Yep.
And basically you're excited to build your own leverage and audience independently to put yourselves on, to shine light on it.
Yep.
Cool. Man, that's beautiful.
And I will say caveat is, because I do really believe this, to build a tool so that like younger people, so for example, I'm going to get like management people on, I'm going to get booking artists on.
Cool.
I'm actually, the Savo I'm speaking to, do you know Ash Ims from Smash Group? Manages Dressed and Archer.
Oh, I may have met.
She's an artist manager. She has a.
Oh no, yeah, I have met her a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she works at Workers as well, right?
I don't know if she works at Workers. I don't know that much about her yet, but I'm talking to her today at 3:00. She Dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she manages Dressed.
I love that dude.
Yeah, she manages him. You probably would have met her or seen her you were at the launch party. Launch party. Yeah. And I'm actually talking to her, the Savo, about like artist management and how she got into it and stuff like that. So I want to do stuff like that as well, where I'm talking to people in the industry that can actually provide like a bit of value for people who are like.
So if artists are listening,
trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Cool.
Because like I don't think there's really anything in this country like that where you can like. There's a podcast where you can actually talk to an audio engineer and he'll like give you some. Obviously, we didn't do this today, but like.
Still can.
No, it's too late.
High pass your vocal at 110 hertz. There you go. You're set.
Done.
Grammy nominated.
Yeah, that'll be the little TikTok snippet right there.
Yes, sir.
3 seconds. High pass a vocal. Done.
Whoa, this guy knows how to mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. I back that.
Yeah, so
I love that.
there is like a little bit of thought behind it. It's just that like.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. I want to ask you about one thing or talk about one thing really quickly. Actually, two things really quickly.
Beautiful.
It has to be
I
kind
feel
of.
like we don't need to rush. I'm good.
It's not so much about the. It's not
another
so.
20 if you're worried about time.
No, it's more about the getting the file off the camera.
Got you.
It's,
okay.
The interview that I did last week was like a 3-hour interview, and I haven't been able to get the. The file off the phone.
It's so massive.
It's so big. It's a 44 gig file. So I mean,
how do you do that?
I don't know.
USB lightning cable.
No, I've been trying to figure it out. I haven't fucking figured it out. So that's why I'm low key
Just
stressing.
throw it in the bin.
Yeah, honestly,
Nah,
I'm low key stressing that we,
Nah, you'll get it done. You'll get it done.
If we go like heaps longer,
just
like
upload it to TikTok. Like that.
Yeah. An hour and 20 of like not edited.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's all good. Just use the room audio.
Yeah.
Sound great.
Or, the other thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe I have to like cut the video in the phone into like 3 pieces.
Yeah.
And then
that's not a bad idea.
And then upload them one at a time or something.
Sorry, I cut you off. You had a point.
No. But that's what I'm thinking about. But anyway, that's where my head is at right now. I'm like, I want to make sure that like we do talk about what we want to talk about, but
beautiful.
I actually want to be able to get it up as well.
Yeah, so fair, so fair. What were you gonna ask?
Well, I was gonna not so much
2 things.
Yeah, I was not so much asked, but just like I just wanted to talk about the like, the little community that you guys have. Or when I say you guys, what I'm thinking about is you, Carter, Young Martyr, who else? Like Dimmy, I guess.
Yeah,
Olive. Who else? Yeah, Mater. Yep. All that little
Logan M, AO Trey.
I haven't met everyone yet. Yeah. I'm slowly kind of meeting everyone, but yeah, that little community is what I'm talking about. Like,
right.
It's been really cool to kind of meet all you guys and like, and just to see like how much you all support each other. And actually the thing that kind of stands out to me the most was, at that Dressed, not the listening party, but
the actual show.
The show.
Yeah.
I can't remember who opened.
Reyko
opened.
That's one of my best friends.
Yeah, Reyko opened.
That dude.
And you were, I remember this is the first time that I met you and you were like thrashing out in the front row and you were like singing all the lyrics and And
I can't not. It's weird being so close to them because I am actually like
fans as well.
genuinely a huge fan of that dude. Like
he's super talented.
I kind of have to tone it back a bit. I remember when I first met him and we started like making music together. I was like, you were so good.
Yeah.
He's incredible. But what were you saying?
No, just
the support, yeah?
Yeah, it's just cool. There's no real like question or anything. It's just like, it's just cool to see. And it's cool, like, especially with me and Luke, because we're like we're a 2-man operation and we see like a community like that.
Dutch boys.
Yeah. And 100%. And it's like, that's kind of what we moved to Melbourne to seek, like to be around.
The community?
Yeah, that kind of community, that kind of energy, that kind of support. And it's just cool to see like how well you guys like support each other and get out for it as well. It's just awesome.
It's a similar thing to, at the start of our conversation, we were talking about trusting yourself.
Yep.
Like I don't have to force myself to work a certain amount just because I am so enthusiastic about it. And I've
the guys that you're working with, yeah.
Same thing with supporting the scene. Like I actually genuinely just love everyone's music and I genuinely am having a great time.
Yep.
And I don't have to feel like I have to drag myself to a gig to get my networking up or show face so that people buy tickets at my show. It's like, no, I actually really want to be there.
Yep. Definitely helps.
Yeah, man. So it's real. And I think that's why it's tangible. It's real.
Yeah.
Everyone in that scene, like you got Banter, Jay Zayat, all those guys. Like, lovely people. Yeah.
And that's the thing we kind of, the thing that I keep realizing or, I've already realized it, but it keeps reminding me is that like everyone, like that show, the ball and launch the other night was just like.
I had COVID.
I know. Would have sucked.
Yeah.
But everyone's so fucking good and everyone's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. Just love it. Just been to a few shows now, a couple of Olive shows, bit of dress shows.
Yeah.
Carter show. And just keep getting those vibes. Like just great people, great music. And like I'm really starting to become a fan of the music as well. Like I really fuck with Carter. I really was digging the Jay-Z and fucking banter shit. And
Jay-Z played. That's crazy.
Yeah. He made it over.
Yo,
that's nuts. He said, "Oi, babe, not tonight.
Not tonight.
I got shit to do.
I'm gonna go play to 120 people at Laundry Park. It's a big opportunity for me.
Yeah. I can't miss.
You know who else is sick? She doesn't have. I don't know if she has a ton of music out. It's all coming. It's in the works. We played that night. Arnt Mae.
She was amazing.
I've been working with her recently, building up.
I love her. It's like I love her whole aesthetic and the fact that like all the musicals, the stuff that she played the other night, it's like hip hop. Like
she's really, really good.
She just spits.
She can rap and she can sing her ass off.
Right.
And again, back to like trusting yourself, enthusiasm thing. Like everything she did, I don't know if she did it on the night, but I DJ'd for her a couple nights ago at a Red Bull show, and she rocked up with horns on and a full mummy kit on her face.
Yeah.
And she rocked up with a coffin as set design for a 20-minute set.
Yeah.
And like this witch table and everything.
Love that.
She actually just genuinely is excited about this stuff, and it is actually genuinely just her.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the thread of this whole conversation. Just genuine enthusiasm permeates all of this stuff.
Totally. Yeah.
And people pick up, everything's energetic, man. Like people pick up on that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, keep an eye out for her because she is sick.
Yeah.
And she's going to drop some insane music next year. And I don't say that lightly. Like really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I think when you match, if you match like good music and output with the kind of aesthetic and brand that she's already building.
Yep.
It's a pretty fucking powerful combination.
Combined with, she's already got an incredible team around her managers, Seamus and Anthony.
Yep.
And her partner and incredible
B-Ray.
Incredible figure in the scene, Braden Fun Films.
B-Ray. Yep.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And
dude, he's
doing
wild.
All that stuff.
He's
and
wild.
He's a lovely dude too.
Yep. I met him,
great people.
I met him at the Ballin show. Right. I just went up to him and I shook his hand. I was like, I'm going to work with you one day. Yeah. I don't know when.
But we're going to do it. Yeah.
But I'm going to work with you one day because I'm just everything that he's put out. in the last, since I moved to Melbourne, I've just been watching what he's been doing and
So creative.
so impressed with him.
Yep.
Yeah, so impressed. So impressed with everyone. Everyone's so fucking good. Lot of talented motherfuckers in Melbourne.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Just need that big Triple J spotlight and we'll all be fine. Love me, Triple J.
Yeah. Speaking of talented,
Yeah.
you put a little song out last week.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Speaking of Reyko, who we were talking about before, I made that song with him just over a year ago.
Yeah.
Have you heard it?
Yep.
Man, that song is special. Like, not even from a place of ego, but we both wrote it. So we're huge fans of each other.
Yep.
And just making the instrumental was fulfilling enough. And then he comes back to me with this hook.
Who's singing the hook?
That's Tate, Reyko.
That's him.
Yeah, bro. So I did the verses and he's on the chorus.
Right.
We both did the production.
Yep.
And he sends me back this enormous hook. It's just massive.
It's tingling.
Yeah, bro. And I asked him what was it about. I was like, is it about, like something to do with love, relationships? Are we going there? He's like, no, man, it's about like my grandfather passed away and I can still feel like his spirit sort of like guiding me. Like I'm still kind of like hoping for his guidance and insight.
Yep.
And man, that rocked me.
Yeah.
Because I had lost my pop a couple of years ago as well. And I started writing about seeing that whole experience through the eyes of my mom losing her dad, because like not only am I losing my pop, which is hard, but what's harder is seeing my mom lose her dad.
Yeah.
And then every thought that trickles down from that, like one day I'm going to lose my parents and what's that going to be like? And yeah, bro, we've had it done for like a year and we're just waiting for the right time.
Yep.
He's so prolific. So he's putting out music and we got it out and yeah, very special song to share. Yeah, it's a big one for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we really got to fire up the cannons and get our promo asses into gear.
Yeah, what are you going to do with that?
Man.
Any ideas?
We got no grand ideas. Like obviously there's a radio approach. Tate's got a pretty good network of like independent playlists that he usually hits up. Really want to like put a focus on TikTok. So that's another thing. I've got my Riverine audio engineering TikTok and I'd really like to in the next week start a Riverine music, which is my artist brand, TikTok and start posting regularly there. And then hopefully, give the song legs with time.
Yep.
Beautiful thing with promo that I always try to tell people is like it doesn't end on week one.
No.
Like I'm pretty sure Mo Bamba blew up like 18 months after it was out.
Yep.
Some Lizzo song got massive like 2-3 years after it was put out. I Fall Apart blew up like 2 years after that came out. So like slowly and diligently just putting in a good amount of effort and holding myself accountable to that because like the song deserves it.
Yeah, it does.
But and we can, sorry if I'm going on a tangent, we can wrap this soon, but something that I battle and a lot of people I know battle with is, and you're probably exactly the same. I already know it. I don't even have to ask you. But like the dividing your own mental bandwidth. Yep. And already being so, I guess, full. You know what I mean? Like you've got so much you're already trying to do. Sorry. And then adding extra things to that plate.
Yeah.
So something's got to give somewhere.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah. It's like you're already, at 90% and then it's like.
I think today is a perfect example. Like I feel so like overwhelmed right now with things that I got on.
Because of work?
Work, obviously interviewing you now. I got at 3:00 is Ash.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I got there's a gig on Friday that I've booked and I'm flying an artist down from Sydney to play.
Oh, cool.
Which Rūku's playing on and it's at Laundry.
That's the dressed one, is it?
No, Dressed is next week.
Next week, okay, right.
So yeah, we've got to prepare for that as well.
Oh yeah, I've seen that everywhere.
Yeah. Talakai, his name is. He's just coming off. Do you know Chillin' It?
Yeah.
He's the main support for the Chillin' It tour at the moment, and he's like Chillin' It's best homie.
Cool.
And so he's coming down to play this show.
That'd be a good show, man.
So I've booked that. I've like, you know, I'm putting that together. I'm managing it. You know, I've got to get a whole bunch of stuff sorted for that. But also, he's featuring on a song with Rūku, and we're potentially shooting a music video while he's down here. So I've got to plan all that out. Anyway,
A lot going on.
yeah, a lot going on.
Meditate.
Yeah, I know. I probably got to just take 5 minutes to just chill the fuck down.
5 minutes, bro. Cool.
And then I'm also trying to get my own single ready, which is that's ready. I just got to get like the art done from Carter, and
There's a lot going on.
So yeah, on a day like today, and then I think something happened this morning where I got to get that done today, where there's actually you know, a time limit on it. And then I've got to get tax sorted for like last year. My accountant's asking for some stuff. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I know that
Something's got to go.
Yeah, something's got to go.
Fat.
Yeah, I always think when I'm in situations like that, I always feel like I just need to be more efficient. Like rather than like taking something away, I just feel like
Just do more. Just do
I
more.
gotta do more.
Yeah.
And I actually think, here's the thing. I do think that I would rather operate that way. And but the difference is that I need to operate that way with a bit more leniency. And so a conversation that I listened to with Gary Vee the other day, he basically said, you can fit all those things in. You just need to understand that the only way to do it is to not judge yourself on the decisions you do make and the things you do get wrong. So I think one thing that probably like is a drawback of that kind of holds me back sometimes is
the deliberation.
Yeah. So yeah, your ability to commit to ideas, execute as quick as you can, fail quickly, and then fucking move on. And
TikTok's the same.
And not judge yourself on it.
Yeah.
That is a skill set that will allow you to, and you know, a really simple example, he goes, you know, that 30-minute interview, 7 minutes. That should be a 7-minute interview. Like usually or a meeting or whatever, or a phone call.
Yeah.
How much dawdling is done? How much like waffling is done? How much like phone checking in between things is done? How much, you know, the fucking 10 minutes I spend on the dunny, you know, is it's only a 30-second
More
shit.
like 40, mate.
Who am I kidding? You know, and the 15-minute shower, like that's really only a 90-second shower.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
it's just I'm sitting there going, oh man, this water is so good.
Yeah.
And fuck.
I mean, give yourself a moment to be a human being.
Yeah. You obviously within reason, but
Yeah.
I just feel like
I agree though.
Yeah, I think I can be a lot more efficient than I am. Obviously, I don't want to burn myself out and I don't want to like overwhelm myself. And I think I can do that sometimes. There's a balance that I'm not getting right because I'm spreading myself too thin and then I'm not executing quick enough. I'm deliberating too much. I'm planning too much.
How's your sleep?
Good enough. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nah, I sleep okay. I usually get like minimum 7.
Cool.
Yeah. Nah, I sleep fine.
Good.
That's never been an issue. Not recently anyway, but yeah, no, sleep's fine. But yeah, no, I'm like, I know that I'm in the process of figuring this out. So I'm like not too concerned.
You get that, man.
Yeah, I'm not concerned at all, actually.
Yeah.
I am kind of concerned.
Okay.
Backflip. Yeah.
We'll get to that after the podcast.
Yeah. Have you got any more music coming out?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it? Don't want to talk?
Yeah, for sure. I have 2 things happening.
Yep.
I've just collaborated with a drum and bass producer from Brisbane called Fitch, who's amazing.
That sounds cool.
I've just done vocals on a song. I did a terrible job of them. I had COVID, so I'll redo them this week. But yeah, that's very new for me. I've never done anything remotely EDM.
Yep.
And it's sick.
That sounds dope.
Really cool.
Yep.
Another idea is I haven't talked about it, but I've got a lot of travel coming up. I just want to live nomadically, hopefully for the next few years or so while I'm mixing, just travel around. So I'm off to Mexico in May. I'm probably going to stay about 6 months and then just keep chuffing around. What I want to do to prioritize music because creating music can be on the back burner for me because I'm always like hired to do jobs and everyone's like, can I have this now? Can you do this?
Yeah.
I want to sort of film wherever I'm at, like almost like a travel vlog, but like put it together and write a piece of music to that each week. So I've just got a video.
Write a score or?
Well, like a full song. Just have this like sort of audio visual piece that I put up on YouTube and then promote through TikTok and everything and Instagram and Reels every week while I'm traveling. Like document travel through music.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm really excited about doing that.
It's going to keep you consistent.
Yeah, I only work under challenges.
Yep.
You can give me a 6-month period with no obligation to write music and I will not write a single song. I'm not one of those people that's getting melody ideas every time I shower.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
I think maybe that used to be when I was writing more. Maybe that's a thing.
Yeah.
But if you tell me, yo, you need to have a 28-track album to me in the next 3 weeks, I will have it done.
Yeah, cool.
If I tell myself,
I like that.
Like last year, I did an EP called Someday Soon. It's a 4-track piece. I had just gone through a breakup and I like needed to be an alchemist. I needed to like turn this agony into something beautiful. Yep. And I was like, I'm so busy with mixes all the time.
Yep.
I'm going to give myself 1 week off.
Yep.
I'm going to write a whole EP.
Yep.
And I'm just going to have it done and I'm going to move on.
Yep.
All of my thoughts will be articulated because I feel like I can't move on from this relationship until I've like made something out of it.
Yep.
So I just gave myself a week. Wrote 4 songs.
Punched it.
Yeah, produced them. I recorded the vocals. I wrote it. I mixed it. I mastered it and hit upload on Sunday.
Fuck yeah.
The only way I work. So hopefully moving forward with the travel, that is a productive experience. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I love that. With the TikTok stuff, did you say, because you mentioned 6 weeks before, like you had a 6-week
Oh yeah,
period.
where I was fairly like religious with it every single day.
Yeah. Did you have like a number of TikToks per day in that 6 weeks?
I started out doing 1 a day and then it graduated to 2.
Did you set yourself the goal to do 1 a day?
I think at first, yeah, like I started out and I think I posted maybe 2 videos in the first week and a half. And then I had a good friend, St. Prince, who's an artist I work with, lovely dude too, who does quite well on TikTok. And he said, post every day, brother. And I was like, every day? Come on, man.
I got to do the work.
Legit. I was like, oh, I got to think of this thing every day.
Yeah.
And then graduated to like, I had my friend James Kolu. He's got a bodybuilding business and he posts multiple times a day. He's like, bro, post twice a day. And I was like, 2 times a day?
Yeah, Jesus.
Come on. And then I look at all this advice online and it's like, yo, you need to be posting 5 times a day. I was like, man,
5 times a day.
But back to what you were saying before about like you struggle with the deliberating and not just make a decision and do it and go.
Yeah.
TikTok's the exact same. And I was going to add to that. Like,
yeah, right. You were, yeah.
Just sit down and get inspired and come up with some ideas. Maybe you've got a format or a structure. Like, okay, I do 1 POV video and then 1 skit video and then 1 tip video. You literally have it. And as soon as you got some kind of confine, then your brain's going to start work. It's going to start to work in terms of creativity. And then you just get some ideas down. You don't judge them too much. And when they feel good, you just film them and you just do them.
Yep.
And when they feel good, you put them out. And if they don't feel good, maybe you don't.
Yep.
And you just do it. And you don't need to spend any more than an hour a day making 4 good quality TikToks, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
The same goes for writing songs or whatever. You can make a fantastic song in a 2-hour window or less.
Yep.
So that's the move, bro.
I think what's the line? There's like art actually works better with restriction.
Yes.
Yeah.
If like in high school, I was big into acting. Before I did music, I did acting. Life. And we had an assignment that was like, just write a script about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. What do I write about?
Fucking hell. Yeah. Don't put this on me. Tell me to write like a 5-minute dramatic short film based in Italy about betrayal in love.
Yep.
Boom. I'm good.
Yeah. Done. Yeah.
Write a script about anything. There can be any length.
Yeah.
In any language, doing anything. I'm like, fuck you. Like, nah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably a good note to
Yeah.
finish on.
Yeah,
You
beauty.
want, like just you know, set yourself a structure and then commit to it. And when it feels good, just do it and be okay with maybe it being wrong.
Yeah.
Or like got
Because-
my first couple of hater comments the other day.
Oh,
like,
did ya?
Yeah. It was like, whitest TikTok ever made.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And just being okay with like showing up and like someone hating this.
Yeah.
And it felt good for you in the moment.
Yeah, because those quote unquote wrongs are the stepping stones to the right anyway.
Exactly. And
So-
like someone else's yuck is someone else's yum.
Yeah, fucking oath.
So yeah, man. Do 4 TikToks a day. Give yourself an hour to do it. And do that religiously for the next 30 days. And know exactly who you're trying to reach and what you're trying to do.
Yep.
Sorry, that's a lot. And I near guarantee you'll see growth.
99 point.
I actually guarantee you, I'll bet you $50.
Yep.
You give me the next 30 days of your life,
Yeah.
1 hour a day, post 4 great TikToks, and you know exactly who you're trying to reach and what you're trying to like provide for them
Yep.
and what it's going to do for you. An hour a day.
Game changer.
Yep.
Yep.
You might see this brand make some traction.
Yep.
Some serious traction.
Yep.
Maybe so that's 120 videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of videos. They're all 6-second little lottery tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of them's going to hit.
One of them might.
One of them might.
3 of them might mildly hit, and then that maybe triples your current audience, and that is a great investment of time.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
It's all exponential from there.
Yeah.
As soon as TikTok or any of these social medias, as soon as they've figured out who you are, what you are, who you're trying to reach, who likes your stuff, boom,
Yeah.
starts to go.
Yeah.
Use the similar hashtags on every single video.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we know who you are.
Yeah.
We
You
can
make it
push you to
easier
the
for
right
yourself.
people. Yeah.
By doing the work, you actually make it easier for yourself, not harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do it, bro.
Yeah, I will.
Get in those cold showers and
Yep.
meditate.
Cold showers. Meditate.
4 TikToks a day and buy my NFT.
Yeah, boom. All right.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll wrap it.
Wrap it.
Yeah.
Good man.
Beautiful. Well, that's it from myself and Riverine. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and everyone stay slap happy out there.
Stay clapped.
Not the clap.
Don't get the clap.
No,
Let's
but-
stay clapped.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Kieran.
This was fun as.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah. Legend.
Bye.